right, guys, I'm on the line, and I'm not alone. I have brought MMA world-renowned official Steve Mazzagatti. Steve, how you doing?
Good, man. How's it going, guys?
Good here, man. Thanks for joining.
Very good. Yes. Steve, are you out there in Las Vegas right now, or are you around the world? Where are you at?
No, I'm in Las Vegas. This is my home base. This is where I live, and we're enjoying some wonderful weather up here and getting ready for a weekend of some awesome fights.
Definitely. Now, when you're not, in the cage, with two massive competitors, you're a firefighter, right?
That's it. Yep.
Now,
it's a good gig, man. You're out there serving the public, helping people out. It's awesome.
Well, which one is what? Which one is scarier? Being the firefighter in the ring with like somebody Brock Lesnar and Couture's size going at it.
It's that type A personality. You just like the adrenaline of the rush of going into fires, helping people that are, in car wrecks, and we do a lot of medical stuff. 85% of a firefighter's job these days is medical. So in a big city, it's always nice to know that within 10 minutes you're going to have a paramedic and some qualified medical personnel to cut you out of your vehicle. And when you're in the center of the ring, you got to keep your calm. When I'm standing in the center of the ring and they're announcing fighters, I don't care if it's a little guys we haven't heard of or if it's a big fight. There's a lot of adrenaline going on. I'm sure it's not anything like what the fighters are going through, but it's intense. You're at the center of a speaker of 2,000 to 30,000 screaming fans. It's pretty intense, and it's an awesome feeling, and I'm honored to be in the position to be able to do it.
Now, there's no nerves or jitters, or with your base, you've seen a lot worse, I'm assuming, than what you're probably going to see in the Octagon.
Well, the old saying, you never let them see you sweat.
Ah, very nice. So when you're not in the Octagon and you're not fighting fires or attending car crashes or anything of that sort, what do you do to relax? I know you're in the station for 24 hours, and there's not all, there's some downtime there. What do y'all do to relax?
Well, I'm raising kids and trying to keep my sanity. I got two teenage boys that just through the have become huge fans of MMA also. They're both high school wrestlers. My one boy went into jiu-jitsu, and he's taken Muay Thai. This is a great town for getting great coaching for various different arts. That's my younger boy. He seems to be going the fighting end. And then my older boy, he just turned 21. Wow, Anyway, he's into the promotion end of it. He's more into the, he wants to promote. He wants starting out promoting some amateur stuff. Just getting involved that way, He's done some matchmaking for some of the smaller shows, and I just want the fans to realize that, it's not just the big shows we see on TV. Your local community, I'm sure, has little smaller promotions they're putting together, which is just average guys like me and you going out there and giving it a shot, see if we can hang, and if we can, then we get a second fight, a third fight, and then maybe we might make it to a bigger organization, and then on and on and on up to the big time stuff, maybe get a gig on The Ultimate Fighter or Strikeforce or any number of big promotions that are out there, and that's how it goes, so support your local fighters.
Definitely. And you said your younger son is he training to get in the Octagon, or has he already stepped in at a smaller promotion? I know you said it's 17, 18?
Yeah, in the state of Nevada, you have to be 18 to fight, even in the amateur, so he's waiting for that. We could have took some fights in some other communities around, but we didn't. I'm hoping that he stays towards the grappling end of it, does some jiu-jitsu tournaments, but he's very involved. I got a top-notch striking coach, but, I don't think any parent really wants to see their kid go out there and fight, And but he beats the hell out of me on a nightly basis. It's good bonding. There's nothing like nothing like wrestling with your kids. It's just that's a good thing about this sport is it involves every aspect of everybody's art, whatever it is. A lot of families do karate together. A lot of families do kung fu together or whatever, but everybody wrestles together. You wrestle with your kids because there comes a point when cuddling just doesn't work anymore. So what do? You grapple with them. And they become young men and start putting a whooping on you. That's what I always tell fathers is, make sure you do them right, because when they get a couple more years, you'll be getting mauled on the ground. And that's basically what it is for me. I just try to survive. He locks me up in all these different submissions, and I try to survive without getting my neck cranked too bad.
Well, aren't you a trained fighter yourself? How do your skills match up with his, as he's just coming up and you've been doing it for, 30 years?
Well, you got to realize there's a whole new generation of fighters. I'm a striker. I boxed and I did Muay Thai. I wrestled in high school. So that's basically my bred in arts, The jiu-jitsu, I know a lot about it. I understand it. But I'm not able to apply it real well, It's a hard art to be able to apply effectively, just like striking is a hard art to apply effectively. So, striking is my background. I'm a Muay Thai guy, so I can beat him on the stand-up. But once I get on the ground, and you got to realize, man, this new generation of kids coming up are pretty soon going to be young men, and those are the guys we're going to see out there, and those are the guys hopefully we're going to be supporting. But you've seen the evolution of this sport just in the last few years is just sick, we go from one-rounded fighters 10 years ago to well-rounded fighters. You cannot survive in this sport with just a 2 martial arts background. You got to know all 5 to 7 disciplines to be able to hang,
Right, definitely. And I've seen on other places where you spoke of not only the fighting side of it, but it's also a base of entertainment. And, when it comes to some of these guys' antics, what are your thoughts on post-fight comments and things of that nature? Do you think that there's a entertainment level that still needs to be there, where some guys are playing heels and whatnot?
Hey, I trained fighters for 10 years, and I always told my kids, whether they love you or they hate you, they're going to pay to see you. And, back in my day, it was, whether you love them or hate them, you're going to want to watch a fight. You're going to want to buy that pay-per-view to watch them get beat or to watch them win. Whether your wish comes true is anybody's guess, because this sport's so unpredictable. And that's what I really love about it, is nothing's really set in stone. Anything can happen. So, but absolutely, I love a fighter that has both personality in and outside the ring. How can you not?
Well, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on Kimbo Slice? That we know, Dana White and the UFC, they're, telling us how much they're impressed with this guy day in and day out. They're jamming down our throats, teasing his return. And obviously he'll probably fight coming up here soon. How long do you think he'll last in the UFC if he doesn't win? Will his name alone keep him in the UFC?
What keeps you there is people paying to see you. Let's face it, it's bottom line is the almighty dollar, of the money, for the money, and to the money. And Kimbo has created a golden personality in and out of the ring for himself. And why should he not ride the wave to the end, There's many fighters I can think of that have lost multiple fights. I'm not going to mention any names because I got to remain neutral, but we love to see them, because when they lose, there's some ass kicking. They're a test, They're, what I mean? These guys prove to us that the person that gets past them is worthy. And you're going to have those guys. We don't like to see guys go out there and run around and not do anything, but if they're going to get out and fight, and they're going to bang, and they're going to test their opponent, and they're going to give 100%, I can guarantee you any one of these big promotions is not going to get rid of them.
Right. That's definitely true. Now, let me ask you.
Sorry, Steve. Shane here. Now, you're for a referee, I'm assuming you're extremely, popular with the MMA crowd. How is that, walking down the street when you're not in the octagon, and you're not under firefighter garb? Or do people stop you in the street or anything like that?
I gotta say, as you get on TV, more and more people are going to recognize you, and yeah, it's becoming more and more. It's happening more and more, and I'm